Hello viewers, greetings from EcoSurf Mixed Farm once again. It's a beautiful day here, and today I want to discuss with you 5 very important things every goat farmer or upcoming goat farmer in that case should know before starting up a farm. 1. Goat farming is not expensive as you think. uh, yeah, I am sure by now you have come across this information severally. You may have seen in other YouTube videos, TikTok, and maybe you've been told. So there are just very few things that you need to have. Yeah, you need a small portion of land, very small, and I'm talking about if you have, say, an acre, half an acre onwards, you have enough. And you need uh, just some bit of money. If you have maybe $280, you have enough to start. So you use this money, buy one female goat, any breed. You can even buy the local Savannah breed or the Mubende breed, and then use part of the money buy the unimproved male breed. In this case, you can just buy a boa that costs about 500 to, let's say, 700,000, in that range. But you can also get it for much lower. If you look in, you visit farms around, you can even get it for maybe 400,000. So I'm looking at really the very basics. Yeah, so you have the 2 goats. Be aware that goats produce twice a year. The gestation period usually is about 5.5 months, 5 and few weeks months. So you expect that your female goat will produce twice a year. And if you're lucky enough that your goat produces twins, then you can have 6 goats in your farm within a year from that budget. So you'll literally be multiplying your money. Yeah, but of course I'm looking at the very basic. If you have much more than you can invest in the project, you can just use the same idea to invest much bigger. So then you use the money to buy some farm implements that you will need. You buy some salt, you buy some drugs for deworming, for treating the goats, and procure the services of a veterinary doctor in your neighborhood. For most locations in Uganda, if you're in Uganda, there are sub-county level veterinary doctors that typically provide free services. But of course, you can give them some bit of money to facilitate their transport and to visit your farm more frequently. You need them. Make no mistake, you cannot handle goat farming if you're not, management of diseases, if you're not a fully trained doctor. A lot of people make this mistake of saying they can handle the treatment by themselves, and they can do the deworming, they can treat for parasites, they can manage. No, you're lying, because you need a certain level of expertise to do that. You need to be able to detect diseases. You need to do a clinical examination sometimes. Well, if you gain some experience along the way, maybe 1-2 years during the road, you can, of course, learn some of these basic clinical skills. Yeah, so you will use also some of the money to facilitate the person or the people who are supporting you, looking after your goats, if you're not there full time, of course. Number 2, very important, the breed of goat that you start with is important. So in number 1, I said you can start with a female of any breed and a male of an improved breed. Mark that clearly. So the male are usually the ones responsible for for breeding and improving the breed. So make sure that when you're starting, because of capital constraints, you can have the female breed of any breed. But make no mistake with the male one. Make sure it is an improved breed. And for us, we have brought boa males, to help us reproduce. And we have started with 75% boa breed. And that is the recommended, because you cannot crossbreed a 100% boa with a 100% local breed. That would not, there are a lot of challenges that you would experience in that. For instance, the boa breed is much heavier than the female savannah breed, for example, can accommodate. So you will have problems. So you rather get 70% boa, 75%, 50% is also fine. You cross with the local breed. So you expect that within the next offspring of a 75% boa goat is a much better breed. And then if the offspring mates with a 100% boa goat, you expect that you will get about 75% boa breed from that. So this process usually will take about maybe a year or two, at most 3 years. You'll have completely crosses of boa and whatever breed you'd have. And as time goes by and you continue crossing, maybe in the 3rd or 4th year you'll have pure boa in your farm. And that is the idea that we are taking here. So we have the offspring that we have here, mostly maybe 50% on average, 50% boas that are here. And if these 50% boas cross with 100% boa, we expect that we shall have about 75% boa breed that they will produce. So very, very important, make sure that you don't make mistakes with breeding. Make sure that the male breeds that you have are very improved breed. You can have the local female, no problem with that, because that's a problem that can be solved. Number 3, goats need to sleep in a proper house. Like the one you can see in the background over there, that's one of the goat houses that we have there. That's a proper goat house. It should be raised, it should be covered and well ventilated, and with a roof, and they shouldn't be exposed to rain. So traditionally, we have been rearing goats. You just leave them to roam around, to sleep wherever they wish. And sometimes if they are goat houses, there's days that they don't sleep in the house. That's not proper. For you to have goats that are very healthy with glittering skin, you have to ensure that they have a house. And constructing a goat house is pretty cheap. If you're looking at a house that accommodates maybe 20 goats, look not beyond the basics that you have in your environment. If you have some wood, you have some timber, you have some plastics, you can access some iron sheets, you have enough. You have all that you need, and you don't need to hire skilled expertise. You can you can search around for the shape, the measurement. So the goat house that we have there in the background is a 3 by 7 meters house. It accommodates between 40 to 50 goats, and it still provides sufficient space for them to move around, to roam around, and and it is raised. So make sure that you have a proper goat house. And the house that you see in the background there is about maybe about $80. It cost us $80, but we use readily available materials in the neighborhood, the trees, the timber and stuff, to construct it. So that's number 3. Number 4, And very important piece of information that you need to know: goat farming is highly lucrative, no matter the part of the world that you're in. Uh, if you're able to produce a sizable number of goats, you can make millions of money annually, monthly, if you calculate it on a monthly basis. So, and in one of the previous videos, I talked about two ways of rearing goats. You can decide to breed and let them reproduce, and then you sell, yeah, at intervals. And then you can decide to just keep buying from a cheaper market and selling in a better market. For us here, we do both, but I want to talk more about the breeding idea. So you get goats. Let's say we have 100 goats in our farm at the moment. We know by the time the year ends, we shall have doubled that number. And if we are going to be able to sell maybe 50 of those at 300,000 Ugandan shillings, do the math. Yeah. So if at the end of the year we have doubled the number and we have 200 goats in the farm, and we are disposing of 50 at 300,000 each, and remaining with 150 goats in the farm, by the end of 2025 we shall have doubled the 150. That will be 300 goats. And if that time we are able to sell 100 goats at the end of the year, you do the math. So it's highly lucrative, and the cost of operation, is much minimal. So you target breeding them and letting them double in numbers, and then do not sell your goats in smaller portions. Let's say you sell 10 goats, 20, 5 goats. You are not going to reap as much as you would have, and your bargaining power is going to be much lower than a person who will sell 100 goats at once, because you dictate in the market. So breed your goats, prepare a certain number of goats annually ready for sale, and you will be able to use that money, plan it, and use it in your farm account, handle the operations, be able to pay your workers, and also save. That is one way. Secondly, you can decide to buy from the cheaper market. Across the country in Uganda, there are markets for goats where you can buy goats for as cheap as 80,000, 90, 100,000. You go take it to, for example, a better market in Kampala and sell it at 150,000. You get instant profit. So 150,000 times 100 goats, how much money do you get? So do the math. There is a lot of money in goats, and you can earn much more than you think from rearing goats and trading goats. Lastly, number 5, you need to invest in learning. Continuous learning is very important, and it will be crucial in your growth. Make sure you visit other people's farm, learn what they are doing, learn some of the best practices from other people, and employ in your farm. For instance, you need to know the quality of their pasture. You need to know whether the pasture that they have is natural, whether it's planted, how they are able to manage their pasture. You need to know in dry seasons like this, what do other people do? You see, in my background, this portion of the farm, we burnt the grass around here to give way to fresh grass to grow, and yet there is grass in another part of the farm. And you see that with burning, we can do away with some of the weeds here, and then we have only the pasture that we need come out of here. So those are the things that you will learn if you go to other people's farm. You will learn things like how to use the manure from your farm. Right now we have about 25 bags of manure in our farm here, and we are going to be supplying them to somebody in Gulu town. So those are some of the information that if you visit other people's farm, you'll be able to find out. Like how much are they buying the manure, for instance? How much can you sell in your neighborhood? Are there people who might need manure, but they don't even know that they need? How do you sell the information to them? Yeah, and how do you interact with the community? If you have a goat farm of this magnitude, you know that there are some people who might be targeting harming your goats, or so how do you interact? How do you manage the relationship between you and the external community? How do you do publicity for your farm out there? How do you relate uh, with opportunities that come from the government, for instance? Very, very important. That's what I wanted to share with you today, and I hope you find the information helpful, and that more people will join goat farming going forward. I remain Norbert Dachan from EcoSurf Mixed Farm, and you can only support me in one way: like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and all the best.